Hey guys, what's going on? This is Amin, and this is the first video in the Learning Arabic series. This is going to be, we're just going to be going over the alphabet and nothing crazy. But I am going to break this up into 3 different videos because the alphabet can be extensive, but I'm going to try my best to make this as simple as possible. As a disclaimer, these series will be geared towards teaching Christians Arabic. However, obviously, if you're not a Christian, you can benefit from this as well. There's no problem here. So let's kind of just jump straight into it. So in the Arabic alphabet, technically, there are 28 letters. I say technically because there's like a few what I call like wild letters. That's something like Aleph Maksura. That's also something like maybe Ta Marbuta, so you'll see something like this at the end. And that can include something like even like Hamza, right? So technically, theoretically, they're letters, but they're only used like in special cases. And as we go through the series, you'll notice that Arabic has a lot of these like special cases. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, so moving on. Every letter in the Arabic alphabet has 3 shapes, okay? Or we call them forms. So let's, for instance, we were looking at, this is yeah. So this is the beginning shape. This is it by itself. Now, in the beginning shape, it would look something like this. The middle shape, it will look something like that. And then at the end, it would look something like, let's say it's like this, because there's something that comes before it. So each shape or each letter has about 3 shapes, but there are, like I said, special cases. Out of the 28 letters, there's about 6 that don't change form. And as we go through the series, I'll let you know which ones those are. So Arabic, the letters, we don't have vowels, theoretically. They're not implicit into the letter itself, I mean. So we do have vowels, obviously, but they're not implicit into like the letter itself. And how we know what vowel to use when it's in a word is we use something called diacritical markings, or in Arabic, this would be, it would be something like tashkil. Let me write this. I hope that as I'm doing this, you can see it, and maybe I'll be able to zoom in or something, but tashkil. So for instance, even in the word tashkil, right? So if we wrote this, so you could do tashkil, theoretically be something like that. They are indicated by a fatha, by a kasra, and then you have something like a dhamma, and even sukoon, okay? So let me write these out. I'm gonna put these over here. So let's just use this right here. Yeah, so let's say that, or let's just start with ta. Stay with me, guys, I know it's a lot. So this is ta, and I'll make this make a little bit more sense in a minute. But if you have a fatha, which is indicated by a line on the top, this is a sound, okay? Let's say that you have a ta. This is ta in the middle. If you have it under it, this is a e sound. Is that how you're gonna do it? Okay, I'll write it like that. And then let's say that you have ta at the end. And let's say that you have, that would be like a ooh sound, like Kool-Aid Man. Ooh, yeah. So, fatha, kasra, dhamma, it gives you the ooh sound. So sometimes you'll even see something like, let's do something like that. And you'll have like this little circle on top. That's a sukoon. It means that it doesn't make any sound. It means it's silent. So if you notice over here in tashkil, so tashkil. Notice you just put this all together, okay? So I know we don't know any of these letters as yet. I'm just giving you something to make it make sense for a really basic introduction, okay? Now, in Arabic, this is important to know because depending on which value ascribed to the letter, it can change the meaning of the sentence that it's in completely, actually. And actually, let me get a new piece of paper so I can kind of show you this. Give me 1 second. Okay, so like a really basic example would be something like the word, let's do min, right? So this word, meme and noon, depending on where you put the diacritical marking, can mean two different things. So let's do this, and I have these little things. Let's say we put the fatha over the top of this. Well, now it means who, men, who. But let's say that we put the kasra underneath it. Now, I got all of these pens, fancy pens. Now it means from. So depending on which of these you use, they can mean different things, obviously. Let me see if I can give you like a sentence really quick. Do I need to get another piece of paper? I'm just gonna fast forward the video as I write this. Give me 1 second. Okay, so in this sentence, it says, من هو هذا الرجل ومن أين هو? Okay, so basically this means who is this man and where is he from? Now, let's use this for fatha. The fatha over this, over the meme, gives you the ah sound. Man huwa hada rajul. So it translates to, like I said, who is this man, basically. Okay. Now notice it's the same word here, but notice if I put the kasra underneath it, now it becomes, and where is he from? Min aina huwa. Where is he from? So notice the exact same word, and now I guess I can use my fancy highlighter. The exact same word here and here, the exact same word, but depending on the diacritical marking will let you know whether or not it's who or whether or not it's from. Really quick, I just wanted to make something plain as well, really quick before we move on to the next section. I know that it seems like a lot, like, oh, I gotta learn like all of this stuff or these vowels or whatever. I know that the vowels play a big role in Arabic, and it is important to know the difference. However, once you get started, once you get pretty familiar with the language, you'll be able to read it without the diacritical markings, and you'll understand that a sentence like, let me go down here, like this, if I was to write this without any diacritical markings, right? If I was to write this without any diacritical markings, right? You would be able to read something like this and you would instantly know, like, okay, this cannot mean like minhua. It wouldn't make any sense because grammatically min is from, and then this is he, but you wouldn't say like, where is he from? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You would know that grammatically the only thing that makes sense, and I probably should have started doing these a little bit sooner with the color coordinating, with the fatha. You would grammatically know that this can only mean man huwa. So whenever you see this combination, you would know that it has to be in reference to who is he? Like, it can't be anything else. Okay, so, and I hope this is big enough for you guys to see because I'll have to blow it up when I in post. But anyways, let's move on to the next section. Okay, fresh blank slate of paper. So I think that that's sufficient enough to actually start getting into the first 9 letters of the alphabet. And how do I want to do this? Let's just do it like this. And I'll speed this up so it's not like tedious with you just seeing me doing this. Okay, so took me a while to do that. Sorry, I kind of messed up here. I don't know what I was doing with that. But these are the first 9 letters of the alphabet. So before you get overwhelmed, I'm going to teach you a trick, okay? Let's use the blue marker for this, I guess. Sometimes it's not what you're looking at that's really overwhelming, but rather kind of how you're perceiving it, okay? I know because you're astute, because you guys are watching one of my videos, so you must be very smart. You notice that 3 of these groups of letters, they look pretty similar, okay? The only thing that distinguishes some of these letters are the dots above and below the letters, and we call these nuqat, right? So they're like the dots, okay? You'll see them, the dots and stuff like that, okay? If you pay attention, it's going to cut half of your work, because really there's only 4 skeletons that we have to learn as opposed to 9 that you thought you had to learn. I'm actually going to even make this simpler for you. Actually, let's just do it like this. Let's go ahead and separate them out. So this is one skeleton. Notice they're all the same. They look exactly the same, like cups, except for the dots. Okay. Then this is another set of skeleton. They all look exactly the same, except for the dots. And this is the last one. They look exactly the same, except for the dots. And then we have Aleph by itself there, okay? So let's just say them out. So we have Aleph, it's Aleph. We have Ba, we have Ta, we have Tha, we have Jim, we have Ha. So this, there's another H sound in Arabic, but this one is like a hard H, like you're trying to get like in hello. If you were to say hello like that, I don't know who says hello like that, but for the sake of the example, imagine you're saying hello like that. So this is ha, this is kha, kind of like you're kha, 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 like you're trying to clear your throat a little bit, kha, but from the roof of your mouth. Kha. This is dal and this is dal. Okay, so if you notice, that's one group, that's two groups, that's three groups. So now I'm gonna actually make this is what I was trying to do first, but I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna make this a little bit simpler for you. You remember when I told you that out of the 28 letters, 6 of the 28 letters don't change? They don't change shape when they're in a word, like from beginning, the middle, the end. They don't change shape. Well, 3 of those letters that don't change shape are in this first group. Did you know that? I don't think you knew that, but that's okay. That's why I'm here to tell you. So those letters are going to be, and I'll just highlight them really quick. They're going to be Aleph, that's one. They're going to be Dal and Dal. So we've already kind of gotten pretty far, actually, just within this first group. This is like half the battle, okay? So let's just recap, actually. So far, there's 9 letters in this first group. 8 of these letters can be divided into 3 groups. This is group 1. This is group 2. And this is group 3. Okay. Let me see. And I also kind of want to explain this. So 8 of these letters can be divided into 3 groups of skeletons, and 3 of these letters don't change form at all. Okay, that is the Aleph, the Dal, and the Dal. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, we know we have our alphabet. Aleph, Ba, Ta, Tha, jim, ha, kha, dal, and dal. Now, I need to show you what they look like in their forms for the ones that do change shape. Now remember, these are going to be the easiest to learn because all you're doing is just changing the dots, okay? So let me go ahead and make a chart really quick. It probably would have been better if I made a chart before I started this video, but I probably should make the chart now. Let me make this chart real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have made a little janky chart. You guys like it? Is kind of janky. Okay, look, our element is pretty janky, but I think it explains perfectly what I want to say. Okay, so in all seriousness, I did this to put visuals on it. I put the dots in red so you can know exactly what to look for. Okay, so this is the standalone form of the letter, and if you notice, these three do not change shape depending on where they are. Okay, so this aleph, you don't need to know anything about aleph. It'll be where it is in a word. It'll pop up, right? Like I write a word like this, adi. That means like if we were speaking the Egyptian dialect, which is the dialect that I've been learning for a while, if somebody's like acting, you know, crazy, we say adi, adi, adi. This is an aleph. So no matter where it is, it always takes this shape. No matter where it is, it will always be that shape. And nothing comes after it, okay? That's how these work, where there are no other, when the ones that don't change shape, wherever the word is, the letter is, it gets that final form and it doesn't change, it doesn't move. This Hamza on top, like I said, we'll get to that in a minute, but just leave it as it is. But as I stated, wherever a form like this is, it doesn't change shape. Like for instance, another word, added. Like this is kind of used as like a number, or like if you're using it in a sentence, like a number of something added. So notice the dal is right there. It's not moving. It's not changing shape. Anything that comes after it immediately gets the first form. So now let's go into the first form. So I hope that made sense. Rewind the video as many times as you need to. Aleph, that is as it is, doesn't change shape, okay? Ba, this is the standalone form. This is it at the beginning of a word. This is it at the middle of a word. That's it at the end of a word. Ta. Now remember I said these skeletons were the same. Look, see? It's the exact same form for all of these. The only difference is the dots. So this makes it very easy for you. This shouldn't be difficult at all. Okay? So if you know this shape, you know these shapes. That's it. Remember, this is ba, ta, tha, b. This is t, and this is tha. Okay? The next group, the exact same thing. If you know this shape, you know these shapes. So this is jim. That's the J sound. This is its first form. That's its middle form. And that is its last form at the end of a word. As I stated, if you know this form, you'll know the rest of them. And what I'll do is I will probably like post a picture or something at the end of this so that you can see all of these words. And so you can see them, all of these letters, and you'll see them in words. So you can kind of get a better idea of how it goes. And then you have this last skeleton down here, dal and dal. This is the D and this is the, like the, it's not the same as th, th. it's DH. So like for instance, الذي, الذي. Yeah, so I'll have to show you that later. I'll probably post a video or a picture onto this so you can kind of understand it. But now that we have the chart, the glorious, magnificent, janky chart, I kind of want to see how I want to go, because I don't want to overwhelm you with all of these. You know what I'll do? Let me explain this aleph thing. Let me get a new sheet of paper. Give me a second. All right, so for this one, I wanted to make like a separate thing for this, so you can understand this Hamza thing right here. Go ahead and circle that. So this is Hamza, and when it's on aleph, it gives you the ah sound. So I'm gonna write 3 different words, or 4 different words actually, and I'll fast forward the camera so you don't have to like sit here and watch me write all of this stuff. Okay, so if you notice, I put red in the areas where you have the Hamza, and they all kind of do different things, except for like these 2 first words. They do the same thing, but I'll kind of circle these 2 so you can kind of see them. But this first word, so okay, so let me just explain to you what the what the Hamza does. It gives a glottal stop sound when it's on words, typically like in the middle. And if it's on aleph exclusively at the top or the bottom, it changes the vowel from a to e. So for instance, this first word right here, mu'min. Oh, sorry. I didn't know this still had ink in it. That dot shouldn't be there. This first word, mu'min, right? This means like, I guess like believer. Is that how you spell believer? I don't know. Believer, okay? Mu'min. If you notice, mu'min, right? So when it's on a word like this, it kind of gives that glottal stop. Mu'min. I mean, clearly I'm overemphasizing, but typically it's just mu'min, right? So believer. This is ra'iya, ra'iya. So this means like, I guess like wonderful. I guess that's like a better word. Like it means like wonderful. I guess that's a good way to translate it. Ra'iya. Notice the glottal stop. Ra'iya, ra'iya. Okay. That means wonderful. Now, if it's on an aleph, as I stated earlier, if it's at the bottom, it gives the E sound. So this word, let me go ahead and put the dots on there. I forgot to do that. Iman, Iman, Iman. That means like faith. Iman. Okay. I should have wrote that in blue so you can see it too. F-A-I-T-H. Faith. Okay. This word, ab means father. Okay. But it's at the top. It's a ah sound. Father. Ab, father. So if it's typically, you see this, if it's in the middle of a word, then it's mu'min, ra'iya, iman. Notice the difference. Iman, ab. It's that simple. It can be a little confusing sometimes, but it doesn't have to be, is what I'm trying to say. So this, like I said, is one of the special cases. This special letter, Hamza, it's a special case, but you don't have to be afraid of it, and it'll make it a little bit easier for you in the long run, explaining it like that. Trying to think like what else we need to talk about. I think that covers everything. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. This video probably is already like 20 to 30 minutes, and you can listen to it like on 1x. I wouldn't blame you. Like I wouldn't listen to it like on 1.2, 1.5x, you know. But yeah, so that covers everything that we need to know in this first video. What I'm going to do, okay, is I am going to, I'm going to do like a worksheet, okay? And I am going to post a link underneath this video. So the link should already be there actually. And you're going to click on that link. It's going to take you to a PDF, a worksheet, okay? And I have provided a way where you can complete the worksheet and turn it in, okay? You're going to scan it and you're going to send it to me, okay? And the purpose of doing this is so I can grade it, but the purpose of the grade is not to get 100, okay? The goal of the assignment is not to get 100, all right? The goal of the assignment is to put pen to paper like I did here, okay? So that your brain can connect with the material in an organic way. I guarantee you, when I first started learning Arabic, the reason I picked it up so fast was because I wrote everything down. Everything I wrote. This is how I'm able to write this stuff easily, and it's not a problem, okay? This is just going to help you learn it better and faster. This is an organic way to learning, okay? So with that being said, stay tuned to the next section. We're going to be going over the next 9 letters, and then I think for the last one, it's going to be 10 letters. The next 2 videos won't be as long. And then as a 4th and final video to the series, what I'm going to do is I am going to create an actual like worksheet that you guys can do, like a more extensive worksheet. And that one's actually going to be for a grade. So you can test your knowledge, and then we'll move into things like prepositions from like we're going to go over verses in the Bible, because then you'll be able to actually read full sentences. You may not understand what you're reading, but you'll be able to read full sentences. And then as you do that, I'll post it in there. So you'll be able to read a sentence, pick out certain things, and I'm going to make this really fun for you guys. So anyways, with that being said, this is Amin. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Stay tuned for the next 2 videos. Ma salama.